Hi!
Howdy. We missed you.
This is Tale of Two Dead Girls. I'm Kayla.
I'm Michaela.
And welcome to episode 3. Yay!
Woo!
We made it this far.
Yes!
3 episodes in. 3 full episodes in. We apologize that this episode might sound very sloppy.
We have just had busy things going on in our life, and we really tried to pull it together for you, but we'll see.
This was probably the most unorganized week for us, but it's okay. It's bound to happen, right? To have one organized episode.
It's true. Yeah. It's all about having fun, right?
Yeah, so hopefully you guys still like it. I mean, we're not really professionals, and we don't make it out to seem like we're professionals, and I think it's a lot funner that way. Just
Me too.
Because
watch us stumble and laugh at us. It's funnier.
Yeah, and we laugh at ourselves, so it's great.
It's true. Win-win.
So I started looking into CBD stuff.
Yes.
Because I've had a very, very hard month. It was probably mid-January to mid-February where I was having the worst month ever, and I was super anxious, and I started to smoke cigarettes again, and I hate that,
Yeah.
I always do that when I'm stressed, and I was just so incredibly anxious, and so I was smoking a lot, and I was like, I really need to stop this, and I need to do a healthier approach. And
I feel that. Me with a Juul.
So okay, yeah. So I looked some stuff up, and I purchased it's a Juul before just CBD. That was actually delivered, but it never was delivered. So
what?
It said it was delivered on Saturday. I never got it, and I contacted the company, but it's okay. They are sending me another one. I was
Hell yeah. Good.
I really don't care about the money. I just want the product. I was so excited to finally try CBD in hopes it would help my anxiety and whatever.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay, here's a new one. So there's that. And then I also ordered CBD, a tincture. So there's drops. And I have that one now, so it's pretty cool. I have it. And then I also bought this really cute, it's a pre-roll, so I don't know, a joint or something, but just CBD. And it's pink and cute, and it's from a really cute company. They're called, what are they called? This is not a promo, by the way.
But
called,
it could be.
It could be. Oh yeah, Garden Fairy Co. Come hit us up.
Yeah.
But yeah, also the only thing is, I bought it a week and a half ago, and I have no update on my order. So
oh, no.
I don't know.
So what do you think of the tincture? Do you like it?
I tried it last night for the first time, and it said that you are supposed to take a 10 milligram. No, just kidding. 1 drop per 10 pounds of your weight.
Okay.
And I weigh 125, so I was like, okay, I'll take 12. But it said to start off with a smaller amount, so I was like, okay, I'll do 7.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really sure how this stuff works, so I put that in my mouth or whatever, and
it tasted bad.
It didn't taste bad. I mean, I kind of just took it with water because I put 7 drops total, and I was I'm scared of this. But yeah, I took it, and I don't know, I think it helped because I took it when I was feeling anxious. I was like, I'm gonna wait until I'm not feeling good, and I'm gonna take it and see if it works. And it did. It actually did, now that I think about it.
Yeah, it does help. It does help a lot.
So I'm so excited to have this, and I'm no cigarettes for me, but
yeah, we'll have to hear your updates when you get the other stuff, but that's lame. Yes. It all didn't work out. But I'm a big believer in marijuana, so you're talking to the right girl. I smoke weed a lot, so I just have chronic pain, and I love CBD too. It helps with anxiety. It helps with pain. It helps with everything, sleeping, and especially for folks that don't want to get high.
Yeah, that's me. I don't want to get high. I just want to feel better. So that was my main concern. I was like, that's why I haven't taken CBD ever, because I was always afraid of it. And everyone is just like, it's not going to get you high. But I was still scared. I was like, nah, you're lying. It's going to get me high. I don't know. But now I know that it for sure isn't. So I'm okay with trying whatever it is that I can get my hands on.
I heard this super weird thing last time I was at New Seasons. I got this little chocolate bar, and it's like a little vegan matcha mint bar, and it has like CBD in it. And I was talking to the lady at like the coffee bar there, and she was like, oh yeah, like there's this syrup that has CBD in it that we sell like for coffee. Like they'll put it in like your like as a shot in your coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like made from a tree, like tree bark. So not even from weed. It's like made from a freaking tree. Yeah.
Wait, is it hemp?
No, it's like CBD, but it's like derived from like a different plant. And like I've never ever heard that before. So I was like, what?
Oh, because I know I've heard a lot. Oops, I've heard about like CBD being derived from like hemp instead of like marijuana. Is that the same thing? I don't know. I don't know shit about this, but I saw that there was two different like it was like hemp and then it was like marijuana. Like hemp is legal, marijuana isn't. Or something like that. I don't know.
Very complicated process, but
yeah, I'm just excited for it.
Also, like if you at New Seasons too, they have like these tablets you can take. And like I once went to like a doctor with my mom, and they said that if you take them like on a regular basis, it kind of like builds up in your system and it like helps like overall. You know what I mean? Like kind of like a daily supplement.
Are you talking about like the capsules that have like CBD oil?
They're like capsules, yeah. But yeah, my recent obsession right now, which is like totally not spooky, is like I've been looking at everybody's like handmade earrings, and your girl wants some earrings. Like
me too.
There's so many cute ones out there.
Oh my god! Let me tell you this company that I just looked at.
Oh my god, there's one I can tell you too. Let me try to not break up my phone.
This one's on Etsy, and they're called K Styers Designs. It's all made with like brass and I don't know other shit, and it's like super cool. Like there's like those like quartz and onyx and whatever these are all called. I don't know, all these like
like cool stones and stuff. Yeah. I can't remember what the name of the one I really like is, but I will post it on our Instagram when I find out, because I seriously am obsessed with it. It's like, so what she does is like 60s, like retro kind of earrings, and they're so cute and like color block, and like I love them all. And I need 500 pairs. Also, I don't know if you've heard of like Later Operator, but she has like weird like doodads and doohickeys and stuff, and I love them. So
Never heard.
They're so fun.
Yeah. So I guess now we can just stop blabbering and get into the story, since I know that that's what all you guys are here for.
Yes.
Michaela is going first today, since I went first last time.
Yep, I'm on the hot seat. My story is not from America. It's from Australia. And I guess I'll just jump into it. I have like comments throughout the way, so here we go. So Catherine Knight was born on October 24th in 1995 and raised in an unconventional and dysfunctional family environment. Her mother, Barbara, I think their last name is like Ruffin. I'm assuming. I don't know.
Interesting.
It's like Roughan. Ruffin.
Hell yeah.
Barbara Ruffin had been married to Jack Ruffin and lived with him in a small town of Aberdeen in New South Wales, Hunter Valley. Barbara and Jack had 4 sons before Barbara began a relationship with her husband's coworker. So, yeah. Their affair caused a giant scandal in their small town, so they moved to a different town, and Barbara had twins with the man she was having an affair with.
Yikes.
Yeah. Jack, her original man's, eventually passed away, so her and Ken, that guy that she was seeing, they just started taking care of all the kids, and like we're like, whatever, you and me now.
Wow.
Yeah. So Ken Knight, her new man, was Catherine's father, and he was an alcoholic. He was super violent and basically like intimidated his wife all the time. He would rape her up to 10 times a day.
Yikes, you should give a warning when you're gonna say that word.
I'm sorry, you're right. Trigger warning. I just didn't. It's a murder podcast, all right? Enter at your own risk. Anyways, Barbara often, like, due to her, like, abuse, would share intimate details of her sex life with her daughter, Catherine, and, like, how much she hated sex and men and all of that. So later, when Catherine was older, she complained to her mom about one of her partners wanting to take part in like a sex act that she didn't consent to. And her mom told her to put up with it and stop complaining. And because of like that outlook that her mom gave her, like Catherine claims that she was frequently sexually assaulted by several of her family members, even though it wasn't her dad, but she went through the abuse until she was 11 years old. And later in life, like her psychiatrists have accepted her claims because her family members like corroborate this story of like what happened. They're like, yeah, that's real. So that really sucks for her, like off to the wrong start. But anyways, when Catherine was in high school, she was known by classmates to be a bully. She stood over small kids and intimidated them, and she was basically just like a loner. She assaulted a boy at school with a weapon. Just like Mean Girls eating lunch in the bathroom. Like, the life.
Okay, I didn't do that, though.
Me either. You know. We didn't have, like, lunch trays. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, we had, like, little cardboard things.
Yeah, we had, like, sandwiches in bags and, like, chips. Oh. Very unhealthy. But anyways, so she assaulted a boy at school with a weapon, and a teacher ended up injuring Catherine trying to defend themselves from her. And eventually, when she was 15, she left school. She never learned how to read or write, and she started working as a cutter in a clothing factory. But her real dream was, drumroll please.
Oh, God.
Was to work in an abattoir, which in Australia is what they call a slaughterhouse.
Oh, no.
Yeah, my literal worst nightmare. Yeah, that's her dream job, is to work
what the heck? Yeah, what kind of dream job is that?
When I grow up, I want to work at an abattoir. I'm like, damn.
Ew.
That's so disgusting. And I do not condone that at all. But anyways.
Me either.
So she eventually got a job there and was quickly promoted to being a boner, which means she got...
Wait, what?
It's like, I don't know if it's like a compliment or an insult. No, like, her job was to, like, bone the animals.
Ew, like, she would bang them?
So many different, like, interpretations of being boned, boning,
being
a boner, like, all of them. Anyways, so they gave her own set of special butcher knives, and those were her, like, prized possession. She carried them around everywhere she went, and she even hung them over her bed at night, everywhere that she moved.
That's creepy.
All the time, in case she ever needed them. Okay, so this lady got problems. Anyways, so her first husband was an alcoholic coworker that she completely dominated. His name was David Kellett. Where did I get Kevin from?
Kevin?
Brain on Kevin. Whenever Kellett got into a fight, like at the bar or something, Catherine would physically fight people for him. Like,
yikes.
Yeah, she was known around town for using her fists to deal with, like, people she didn't like. Eventually, she persuaded him to marry her, and they rode up to the service on her motorcycle, and her soon-to-be husband was, like, trashed on the back, like, hanging off the back. Yeah. And then...
How awful.
David later said that her mom said to him, "You better watch out with this one or she'll fucking kill you. Stir her up the wrong way or do the wrong thing and you're fucked. Don't ever think of playing up on her, like cheating on her. She'll fucking kill you." And
yikes.
That was her mother talking. And then he said, "She told me she's got something loose. She's got a screw loose somewhere." Damn. It runs in the family, it seems, though. Like, come on. But
that's insane.
I know. She's like, "Please, beware. Do not." But he does. He does it anyways. And on their wedding night, Catherine tries to strangle David because he only had sex with her 3 times. And when her parents got married, they had sex 5 times on their wedding night. So...
That's so many times.
That's, like insane. Like, how do you even enjoy your wedding night? Just like,
that's so lame. If you would just like picture your wedding night to be just sex and
sucks.
like over and over again, yeah, that's so boring.
I want
like,
room service. I want a bubble bath. I want the whole
a
nine.
Netflix. Actually, I don't know, something.
Yeah,
TV watching,
some little cuddle
storytelling.
Yes, some like this is why I love you shit and stuff. Like
make a fort and tell scary stories underneath it.
Tale of Two Dead Girls.
That's my dream. That's my dream wedding night.
Anyways, so she tried to strangle him. And then later, once she was super pregnant, she burned all of David's clothes and shoes before she whacked him over the head with a frying pan because he
whacked.
Just whacked. Oh, God. Anyways, she did it because he came home late after being a finalist in a darts competition. He was like living his life, doing his best, and just gets whacked over the head the second he walks in the house. And so
poor thing.
He just like stumbled to the neighbor's house and he ended up having a severely fractured skull. The police tried to get him to like press charges, but Catherine talked him out of doing anything legally. So after their first child, Melissa Ann, was born, David left her for another woman and moved to Queensland. He was like,
good job, David.
Yeah, he's like, this is too much for me. I don't want to be abused anymore.
I don't want to be abused anymore.
Let me live, please. So the day after he left, Catherine was seen pushing her newborn baby in a pram, which is like what they call a baby carriage in Australia. It's like one of those like round baby carriages, like with 4 wheels.
Wait a second. Wales is in Australia?
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure. Maybe the Wales isn't different.
Wait.
If you're in Australia, please let us know. We don't know geography.
Wait, I thought Wales was in the UK because I'm pretty sure I passed through South Wales.
Maybe they
when
like
I was
moved.
Wait, maybe there's. Wait, you know what? Actually, I think there might be like 2 Wales.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know my geography.
Know. Yeah, we don't know math. We don't know geography. If you're coming here to learn, this is the wrong podcast.
This is not a geography podcast. Okay?
No. Anyways, she was seen pushing her newborn baby down in the pram, and she was throwing it from side to side, like violently down the street.
What the fuck?
Yeah, just like
poor
over
baby.
It. Single woman out in the town just knocking her baby around.
Hey, that rhymes. We should make a song.
I'm a rapper. They admitted her to St. Elmo's Hospital, where they diagnosed her with postpartum depression. Shocker. She was placed in there for 2 months, but when she was released, she placed her 2-month-old baby on the railway line right before the train was due. She then stole an axe and threatened to kill several people in town. A man who was just foraging around near the railway found the baby with barely any time to spare, and Catherine was placed back in the hospital.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so why do people get released? Like, and then they go and do some crazy shit. I don't get it. So, like, are they just they pretend that they're better so then they can act out again?
I think
like that just
so.
doesn't. It doesn't make sense because like you're most likely gonna get caught doing stupid shit, and then you're gonna end up back in where you were.
Or like,
so
also,
I don't get it.
You're like in a mental hospital, right? And they're like medicating you every day and like forcing you to be medicated, and then they let you out, and then you aren't medicated anymore, and then you like are crazy. You know what I mean?
I haven't thought of that.
Yeah, like you can't like be forced to take your medication in the real world, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, so they put her back in the hospital, and then she signed herself out the next day because she was cured, supposedly. So a few days after the train incident, she ended up slashing a woman in the face with one of her abattoir knives and demanded the woman drive her to see David, her ex-partner, her like still current husband or whatever, who is now with another woman. The woman got away at a gas station, which they call a service station in Australia. But by the time the law enforcement got there, Catherine had taken a little boy hostage and was threatening him with the knife. So,
oh my god, what a psycho.
Yeah. Basically...
Wait, and this was the girl that growing up, she was like hurt from her family, right?
Yeah,
they were doing things to her?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically the police disarmed her by attacking her with brooms. And then she was
interesting.
Yeah, but it works. So I appreciate the gusto, you know. But she was then admitted to a different hospital, so Morisset Psychiatric Hospital. Hopefully, they get the job done right this time. But yeah, so Catherine told the nurse that she had intended to kill the mechanic at the service station because he had repaired David's car. And because he fixed David's car, that means that he was able to leave and go live with that other woman. So then she was planning to go have someone drive her to David and then kill both David and David's mother. And
why his mom?
I don't freaking know. But get this. Like, what I'm about to say baffles me. So when the police told David of like what her plan was, he left his girlfriend and moved back to Aberdeen with his mother to support Catherine. Yeah. Like, what?
I'm confused. Why did that happen?
Like, after she just was like, I'm gonna kill both of you. They're like,
oh, well, that makes sense.
Care of her.
No, that makes sense because, like, what if they were just terrified that if they were away from her, then like she'd find a way to kill them, and since they were with her, like they could build her trust, and then
I don't know,
she wouldn't kill them.
Like, unpredictable, and like if she's sleeping with butcher knives above her bed every night, like how can you trust the woman? You know?
You right.
Like, what? I just think it's so crazy overall. But anyways, so basically the hospital released Catherine into the care of her mother-in-law and David, and they moved to a new town for a new start, and it was called Woodridge. And I think it was like they said that was like a small suburban Brisbane. But anyways, David and Catherine had another child. And then Catherine eventually left David. Like, she eventually left David, like, once she was, like, back on her feet. She moved back in with her parents, and then she got a place of her own. She was a single lady. So then she met David Saunders, who was a minor. He ended
Another David?
Yeah, there's a lot of name repeats in this story, so stay tuned. I'm going to just refer from people, like, their first name and their last name because it's literally the only way to tell them apart. But
got it.
Anyways, so David Saunders ended up moving in with her and her daughters, and soon Catherine became super jealous whenever she wasn't around him or he'd go out without her, and she would often kick him out. Luckily, he kept his old apartment, so he would just move back in, and then she would beg him, move back into his old place, and then she would beg him to come back. And then
lame.
Hard trigger warning right now. Animal cruelty. God. So don't listen to the next like 10 seconds. But she cut the throat of his 2-month-old puppy in front of him to show him what she would do to him if he ever cheated on her. And then
that's so brutal.
She knocked him unconscious with a frying pan.
The guy? David?
The new guy. Yeah. The second David.
Fuck.
And
so wait. So she hurts she kills the dog.
Yeah.
And then knocks him out.
Yeah. She's like, this is what I'll do to you if you step out on me. Don't.
I don't like her.
I hate her, dude. She's a terrible person.
Yeah, she sucks.
But then, plot twist, she ended up having a baby with Saunders. And he got them a nice house to live in. She went like super weird, and she covered every inch of their walls in horns, skulls, animal skins, rusted animal traps, machetes, pitchforks, and a bunch of other weird stuff. And
psycho.
That's seriously just crazy. Like, imagine walking into someone's house and just like, what is this?
Freaky as hell.
So they got in an argument, and she hit Saunders in the face with an iron, and then she stabbed him in the stomach with a pair of scissors. So at that point, like, add insult to injury. Terrible. But he moved back to his old apartment, and when he came back to check on the house, she had cut up all of his clothes.
Oh my God.
So he was basically like, I can't do this. I'm not safe anymore. I have to go. He took a leave from work and he went into hiding from her. She tried to find him, but nobody would give her any details and she couldn't find him. So she filed a false report saying that she was afraid of him and they gave her an apprehended violence order against him. So he was gone out of the picture. He's done, like, not dealing with her anymore. So after that relationship, she had another child with a man who used to work at the abattoir, and he was named John Chillingworth. They were together.
Chilling?
He doesn't seem like he's chilling. Anyways, they were together for 3 years, and during that 3 years, she was already having an affair with another man.
She is, what do they call it?
Black Widow? No, she's a succubus.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Like when you suck the life out of men?
Yeah.
You, like, seduce them first?
Yeah. Wait, that's an incubus, isn't it?
No. It's
an incubus is like the ghost
incubus
that
is like that band that's like...
No. Incubus is an actual thing. It's like a ghost that rapes... sorry, I don't mean to say that. A ghost that, like, bangs you.
Assaults, yeah. That makes sense.
No, like, has sex with you. Like, straight up has sex with you. A ghost that has sex with you.
Okay, then I'm thinking of something different. A succubus is like a woman who, like, seduces you and then she, like, sucks the life energy out of you. Haven't you ever seen that episode of South Park?
I don't know.
I was a huge South Park fan, so catch me referencing South Park all the time. Anyways, so she's having an affair. That relationship dissolves. Farewell, John Chillingworth. Goodbye. So now
bye.
She has a new man's, that man that she was having an affair with. And his name is John Thomas Price.
Wait, hold on. How is she getting all of the... Wait, John?
Yeah, another John.
What the fuck?
So two Davids, two Johns.
First of all, how is she getting these men when she's, like, psychotic? How are these men, like, falling in love with her?
And they're, like, staying with her. Like, she's stabbing them with scissors, and they're like, whatevs, love her. Can't
love
get enough of her.
It's okay.
Damn.
It's crazy.
So John Price was a father of 3 children, and he was married while he was having an affair with Catherine, but eventually his marriage ended because of her. So he was originally, like, a well-known man. Like, everyone knew him as, like, that super nice guy, but after dating Catherine, everyone didn't really like him anymore. And after they saw, like, how violent she was, he just looked bad, like, to a whole town. Like, nobody liked her. Nobody liked him. End of story. And his kids liked her, though. And they said that everything was, like, super rosy and great during their honeymoon phase. And then once that expired, they just started having, like, violent arguments. And basically, like, Catherine was super mad that John Price wouldn't marry her. So they fought all the time. And basically, to get back at him, she videotaped him stealing from his job. And then she sent the videotape to his boss. And
what a snitch.
I know. And what he stole was out-of-date medical kits. I think that he was a minor too, if I'm not mistaken. But out-of-date medical kits. And then...
Wait, hold on. How old is she by this time?
That's a good question. So it's...
Because all these years are passing by and she's still going with, like, underage people?
No, this person's like 44, I think. And I think she's like 50.
Wait, what are you saying? A minor?
What do you mean? Oh, like a miner, like a coal miner.
Oh.
You're like, what the hell? Like, how's this freaking cougar, like, out here getting all these guys?
I'm so confused.
Oh my god. I didn't even think of that. Anyways. So, yeah. So he stole out-of-date medical kits from what they call the rubbish tip in Australia, which is what we call a landfill. And basically his job, like, he worked there for 17 years and his boss was like, bro, like, I got to fire you. This is video evidence. I can't say no. So he kicked Catherine out of their house that he, like, got them and all that. She went back to her own house, and after news of what she did to him spread through their town, Price just refused to let her come back. Like, he was like, no, never again.
Good.
But he took her back.
What?
So they were like dating, but he was like, you can't live with me, but I still want to date you. So his friends basically like disowned him, and they're like, we're not being around you if you're around her. That lady's what? So in February of 2002, Catherine ended up stabbing Price in the chest after a series of assaults on him. He kicked her out again, and then on February 29th, he stopped by the magistrate's court and he got a restraining order against her. Price told his coworkers that if he did not come to work the next day, it was because she for sure murdered him. And
oh my God,
they basically like begged him, like, please don't go back home. Like, you need to maintain your safety. But he said that he was too scared that she would kill his kids if he didn't come home. So he was like, I have to go. So he got home, and Catherine had sent all of the kids over to a sleepover at a friend's house, and he ended up spending the evening with his neighbors so that he wasn't home, and he got home and went to bed around like 11 p.m. Earlier that day, she had bought like a new set of black lingerie and was videotaping her making comments to the children and like her children that were like crude and terrible and
ew,
yeah, like super weird. And then later she went to Price's house while he was sleeping and started watching television. Then she decided to take a shower. She woke Price up, he had sex with her, and then he went right back to sleep.
Gross.
Like, what is wrong with you, dude? Have you not learned your freaking lesson? So the next day at 6 a.m., the neighbors were like freaked out when they noticed that his car was still in the driveway, and they sent a worker from his job to his house when he didn't show up for work because they were like, what happened to him? So both a neighbor and his coworker are like knocking on his bedroom window, trying to wake him up, and they notice blood on the front door. So they call the police.
Oh no.
And the police break down the door, and they find Price's dead body and Catherine laying on the floor in a coma because she had taken a bunch of pills. She had stabbed Price with a butcher knife, shocker, while he was sleeping, and according to the blood evidence, he woke up, he turned the light on, and tried to escape from Catherine, but she chased him through the house. He got the front door open and got partially outside, and he either like stumbled back inside or she dragged him back inside.
Oh my God, that's scary.
Yeah, like he gets away and she's like, no. But he eventually died there, and he like bled out because of all of the... Basically, the autopsy report revealed that she stabbed him 37 times in the front of his body and the back of his body, and almost all of the stabs were to his vital organs. And then after she did that, she went to the ATM and withdrew $1,000 from his account. But don't worry, it's about to get worse. Several hours after he had died, she skinned him and hung the skin suit from a meat hook on a beam in their lounge room.
Ew!
Yeah.
What the hell?
She decapitated him and butchered his body. So remember, she works at an abattoir. She, like, butchers animals all the time, and she loves it. Like, I watched this, like, documentary about her, and basically everyone was like, that gave her, like, a thrill and, like, kept her need to kill, like, down, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, she loved it. So she then decapitated him and butchered his body.
Ew.
She decided to cook parts of him with baked potato, pumpkin, beetroot, zucchini, cabbage, squash.
Is this a cannibalism story? Does she eat them?
We're about to find out. So she has like 2 gravy settings in the table. She sets like a table with all of the plates and bowls, and next to each place setting, there's a handwritten note that is labeling where each of his kids are supposed to sit for dinner. She was planning on feeding all of the kids their own father. And then there was like a third meal of meat that was thrown on the back lawn. We're not sure why, but we think like that she ended up trying to eat it and then she ended up not being able to. And then they even found his decapitated head floating in a pot of vegetables. And when they showed up,
Ew.
The pot was still warm. So she had like cooked everything and had it ready for like the kids to come home.
That's so sick.
So
like gross sick.
It's like, what in the freaking world are you thinking? That is
That's some shit.
Awful. But, I mean, she had a lot of vegetables going on there. Like, maybe these men are staying with her for her cooking. Like, that's my only theory. But...
Oh, my God.
So she basically claimed she had no memory of what happened, but she had also, like, arranged the body so his left arm was draped over, like, a liter of soda, like a soda bottle, and then his legs were crossed. She left a handwritten note on top of his body with a photograph of him that was bloodstained and covered in small pieces of his flesh, and the note said, it's like, she can't read or write, so it's, like, really fucked up, but it says, "I'm got you back, Jonathan, for..." trigger warning, "wrapping my doubter. You to Beck for Ross, for Little John. Now play with Little John's dick, John Price." So basically, he was like, she was accusing him of, like, abusing, like, sexually abusing her daughter by that statement somehow, but I don't know. And basically, at her trial, Catherine agreed to plead guilty to just manslaughter, and her trial was set for July in 2001. Her legal counsel got sick, so they moved it to October. And then when the trial started, yeah, that's quite a bit away. But anyways, when the trial started, Justice Barry O'Keefe offered the jury prospects the option to be excused from seeing the photographic evidence due to its extremely graphic nature. And 5 people did, like, choose not to see it. And then Catherine ended up changing her mind about her plea, and she pled to guilty, so the jury was dismissed. And then Justice Barry O'Keefe had a psychiatric assessment, so just to make sure that when, like, she pled guilty, she knew what she was doing, because her defense was trying to play the, like, amnesia, disassociation, like, she doesn't know what happened kind of card. And so the psychiatrist that she saw concluded that she just had borderline personality disorder, and, like, the guilty plea was good. So despite the guilty plea, Catherine has still never taken responsibility for her actions at all. And her defense team during the trial tried to have her excused from the hearing when some of the gruesome details were told, but they were denied. And basically, when they talked about her skinning and decapitating him on the stand, she became completely hysterical, and they had to sedate her, like, freaking drama queen. We know what you did.
Damn.
And then
we know what you did.
Yeah. So basically, Justice O'Keefe said, like, the last minutes of his life must have been a time of abject terror for him, and as they were a time of utter enjoyment for her, and decided that due to the nature of her crime and the lack of remorse she had, that she deserved life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, and asked that her papers be marked as never to be released. And this was, like, a big deal because this was the first time that a woman had ever been charged with life without parole in Australia. So this was, like, a statement. And then later, she tried to appeal the sentence by claiming that life without parole was too severe for killing, but she received a judgment back that said this was an appalling crime, almost beyond contemplation in a civilized society. And she's still currently incarcerated in the Silverwater Women's Correctional Center in Sydney. Her nicknames are Cannibal Kathy or Australia's Hannibal Lecter, but she has a good rep at the correctional center. And the people that are...
Don't trust her.
I know, she's bad, she'll eat you. But, like, people that are with her, like, the women who are with her, they call her Nana because she has maternal instincts and, like, take care of her or whatever. She has, like, a freaking bajillion children. And...
yeah, she has so many. And so many baby daddies.
Yes! Like, what was she doing? She, in prison or women, whatever, correctional facility, I don't know what they call it in Australia, she wrote a book called Green is the New Black, real creative. She loves to knit, and she became super religious, but due to the fact of, like, how serious her crime is, she's not allowed to share a cell with anybody ever again or ever.
Good.
Yeah.
She'll eat them alive.
Yep. She'll be there for the rest of her life rotting.
Hell yeah.
That's it. Freaking crazy.
That's some shit, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was.
I can't believe she, like, literally made him into a soup.
Yes! Like, well, it's crazy because, like, I even read in one article that, like, because she was a butcher, she had, like, super good skills and, like, cut around all of his, like, his mouth and his nose like perfectly, and like it's crazy.
Gross.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Thanks.
Oh my god, how did you find that?
I literally have been like digging in the depths of like true crime right now. So
holy crap.
I have some good ones lined up.
Wow, that's a good one. That was a good one. Good job.
Thank you. I can't wait to hear yours. I'm excited.
Yeah, mine is it's scary.
Spook me shitless, please.
Spook me shitless. Okay, so I guess I'll just tell you my story then.
Yeah.
So this is a haunting that, oh yeah, I'm doing a paranormal story, by the way. This is a haunting that involved real people and is substantiated by eyewitness accounts, affidavits, and manuscripts penned by those who experienced the haunting firsthand. The story led Dr. I'm going to butcher his name. Dr. Nandor Fodor.
What?
I don't know. Dr. Nandor Fodor, who was a noted researcher and psychologist. He labeled this story this legend as America's greatest ghost story.
Ooh, I'm excited.
So this is the story of the Bell Witch.
Ooh.
If you've ever heard of it. If not,
it sounds like familiar, but I don't know the story. Okay.
Well, in 1804, John Bell and his family moved from North Carolina into a farmhouse on 328 acres of land in Red River, which is now known as Adams, Tennessee.
I love Tennessee.
And 328 acres is fucking huge.
That's so much.
Like, that is so much land. It's insane. The residents of the home were John Bell, his wife Lucy, their daughter Betsy, and their 2 sons. They had 2 other children, but they didn't live in that house because they were already married and living, with their partners. So Betsy was born in 1806. Richard, which is one of the sons, was born in 1811, and Joel, who is another son, was born in 1813.
So what, like 3 sons?
2. No, I think there was 4 sons.
Okay.
Because they had 2 sons that had moved out, and then 2 sons that lived in the house, and then Betsy, which is their only daughter.
Okay.
So 13 years later, after moving onto that land, so now it's 1817, the paranormal activity started.
That's so weird.
It started, yeah, so it didn't start immediately while they were living there. It took like over a decade for it to start happening. So it started with sounds, standard paranormal fare for the most part, things like pounding on doors, slaps on walls, and eerie chain rattling.
Oh my god.
One day in 1817, John Bell was inspecting his cornfield when he saw a strange-looking animal sitting in the middle of a corn row. The creature had a body of a dog and the head of a rabbit.
What?
That shocked him, and so he shot at it several times. The animal then vanished, and so John thought nothing more about the incident, at least not until after dinner. That evening, the Bells began hearing beating and scraping sounds on the outside of their doors, walls, and windows, like something was attempting to get inside. This entity was becoming more active. It chewed on the bedposts, kicked the ceiling, knocked over some furniture, and pulled ghostly invisible chains across the floor. The mysterious sounds continued with increased frequency and force each night. John and his sons often ran outside to catch the culprit, but always returned empty-handed. In the weeks that followed, the Bell children began waking up frightened, complaining that rats were gnawing at their bedposts. Not long after that, the children began complaining of having their bed covers pulled from them and their pillows tossed onto the floor by a seemingly invisible entity. I also think they were getting like pulled out of their beds also. Like, it wasn't just like their covers and their pillows being thrown. I think they were like getting pulled out of their beds. Like, this thing was very violent.
Yeah, and that's like pretty spot on to say like it was a rat. If it was like a rabbit dog, like that's almost a rat, like teeth,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The encounters escalated, and the Bells' daughter Betsy began experiencing brutal attacks from this ghost. It would pull her hair and slap her relentlessly, often leaving welts and handprints on her face and body.
God.
She began to have convulsions and would pass out as the attacks got more intense. And as time went on, the Bells started hearing faint, whispering voices, which were too low to understand, but sounded like a feeble old woman singing. Oh, God. What is this? Is it hymns? Hymns? Hymns. Okay.
Hymns.
I remember I learned that word in like 7th grade, and I forgot about it ever since.
It's like a churchy word. Like, hymns. If you go to church, you know it. If you don't, why would you know it? You know.
I knew it because they were teaching us like poetry.
Oh, you're right.
And that's
you're right.
like part of it.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? Okay. Okay, so hymns. But eventually the evil witch's voice. So I'm going to be calling this thing either entity or witch or ghost or spirit or something, just because she was called the Bell Witch, but she was like a ghost.
So it's a female entity though.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. So eventually the witch's voice could be heard throughout the entire house. In time, the entity referred to itself as a witch and said it would plague John Bell forever.
What? I want to hear its voice.
I wish we could. I wish I could find something, but this was in the 1800s. They got nothing to record it.
I know.
The witch would beat John so bad that he couldn't talk because his jaw and tongue was too swollen. What? The identity of the spirit was never made clear, but the family started to refer to her as Kate after hearing it say, "I am nothing more or less than old Kate Batts, witch." And a little backstory on Kate Batts is that before John married Lucy, he was in love with Kate. He proposed to her, but never went through with marrying her. And in the end of the 1770s, Kate's body was found next to a well near her home.
What? Okay, just like think about this time period and think of like how scary this is. Like you are in the middle of literally nowhere in a shack or whatever you live in, and like you're completely alone. Like you can't like compare this to anybody. Like it's so isolating and just like so scary.
Yeah, it is pretty spooky, especially because like the clothes that they used to wear, like that's kind of scary too. The cause of her death was never discovered. After her funeral is when John and Lucy got married, which helped John get over Kate's death unusually fast and easy.
Yeah.
Some people thought that John murdered Kate because he realized he couldn't spend the rest of his life with such a crazy, moody, and unpleasant woman. Apparently, that's how she was. People think she sought revenge against John because he ruined her happiness by not marrying her.
That makes sense.
Back to the story. The disturbances, which John Bell told his family to keep a secret, eventually escalated to the point that he decided to share his family trouble with his closest friend and neighbor, James Johnson. Or Johnston.
Why would he make them keep it a secret? Like, boy, what did you do wrong?
I think it's because they probably didn't want they didn't want people to think that they were crazy or something, or they didn't want to draw attention.
I was also thinking too, like if it was like you said that it was really pissed at the daughter, like maybe they would think the daughter's a witch or something, you know?
But it was also really pissed. Well, it wasn't actually pissed at the daughter. It was more like, well, okay, it was hurting her, but it was really like angry at John for some reason.
He was like beating his face.
Yeah. So James Johnson and his wife spent the night at the Bell home, where they were subjected to the same terrifying occurrences that the Bells were experiencing. After having his bed covers removed and being slapped repeatedly, James sprang out of bed, exclaiming, "In the name of the Lord, who are you and what do you want?" There was no response, but the remainder of the night was relatively peaceful. The witch's voice strengthened over time to the point that it was loud and unmistakable. It sang hymns, quoted scripture, carried an intelligent conversation, and once even quoted word for word 2 sermons that were preached at the same time on the same day, 13 miles apart.
What? How do they know? Crazy.
It's a fucking ghost. Ghosts know shit.
I know, but I mean, like, how did those, like, little humans know? Like, there was 2 like, you know what I mean?
Oh, Frick. That makes sense. I don't know. This is some weird shit.
Yeah, this is a urban legend that's real. Anything goes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I think I'm going to talk about that in the end. I forget. But word of this witch shit was going on. Blah, 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 word, word of this witch shit going on soon spread so quick, and people started going to their home to see if the rumors were true. When they'd get there was a lot of punches and kicks by the entity. It spread even to Nashville, where then Major General Andrew Jackson took interest. Yes. I don't know if that's... Didn't we have, like, a President Andrew Jackson?
I know that's some famous name. Also, like, how in the freaking gosh dang heck are all these people finding out about this? Like, on their horse?
There's no social media.
Yeah, like...
I think they probably had, like, the newspaper or something back then. I don't know.
But still, like, if you have a 324-acre property, like...
You're right. Like, oh my god, I didn't even think of that.
How the hell are you going... this is beyond me. These people are living a life I cannot.
Well, maybe their house is, like, only a few acres away, and then the back like, of the main road was, like... Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
So in 1819, Jackson decided to go visit the Bell house. He came with several men, some horses, and a wagon. As they approached the Bell property, the wagon stopped suddenly. The horses, like, they wouldn't pull it. They couldn't pull it. They wouldn't pull it. After a few minutes of cursing and trying to... Okay, I think this is coax or Cox? No, I think that's coax. C-O-A-X.
Now Cox. We're just all over the place.
I think it's coax. So trying to coax the horses, unless the X is silent.
No, that makes sense. Trying to coax them, yeah.
Okay. Coax the horses into pulling the wagon. Jackson proclaimed, "By the eternal boys, that must be the Bell Witch."
I'm assuming so.
Then a disembodied female voice told Jackson that they could proceed, and that she would see them again later that evening. They were able to proceed across the property, up the lane, and to the Bell home, where Jackson and John Bell had a long talk about the Indians and other topics, while Jackson while Jackson's entourage waited
famous boy
waited to see if the entity was going to manifest.
She, like, threatened him, though. Like, I'll see it at night. Wink, wink.
Yeah. Maybe he thought of it as, like, seductive. I don't know.
Who knows?
One of the men claimed to be a witch tamer, and after several uneventful hours, he pulled out a shiny pistol and proclaimed that its silver bullet would kill any evil spirit that it came into contact with. He went on to say that the reason nothing had happened to them was because whatever had been disturbing the Bells was scared of his silver bullet. Hate to break it to you, honey, but ghosts are not fucking scared of your damn guns.
She'll eat your silver bullet and spit it in your face. Like, no. Try again.
That's scary. Almost immediately, the man screamed and began jerking his body in different directions, complaining that he was being stuck with pins and was being beaten severely.
This is Gun Guy?
This is Gun Guy.
Oh my god.
A strong, swift kick to his chest from an invisible foot sent him out the door.
Yes.
Angry, the entity then spoke up and announced that there was yet another fraud in Jackson's party, and that he would be identified and tormented the next evening.
I'm, like, rooting for her. I'm like, yes, expose them, expose the trash.
She's so scary, though. What the hell?
It's true.
Jackson's men were scared as hell and begged to leave the Bell farm, but Jackson, on the other hand, insisted on staying so that he could figure out who the other fraud was. The men eventually went outside to sleep in their tents, but continued begging Jackson to leave. They left the next morning. Over time, Betsy, their daughter, started dating a young man named Joshua Gardner. He didn't live too far from them. So they probably did live like on a main road.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like they have to go into like town to get like supplies and stuff, you know.
With the blessings of their parents, they decided to get married. Everyone was stoked about their engagement besides the entity.
She jealous.
For reasons unknown to this day, it would repeatedly, it would repeatedly tell Betsy not to marry Joshua. Betsy and Joshua's former school teacher, Richard Powell, had been interested in Betsy for a long time and had expressed interest in marrying her when she became older. By some accounts, Powell, who was 11 years older than her, was a student of the occult, although it has not been proved. He was secretly married to a woman in nearby Nashville, Esther Scott, during the time he spent at Red River expressing his feelings for Betsy. According to old accounts, Powell politely expressed his disappointment with Betsy's engagement and wished her a long and prosperous marriage with Joshua Gardner.
Yeah, right. With his voodoo doll in his pocket.
Betsy and her husband couldn't go to the river, the field, or the cave to play without the ghost bugging them. Jesus. Their patience finally reached critical mass, and on Easter Monday of 1821, Betsy met Joshua at the river and broke off their engagement. The disturbances decreased after Betsy ended the engagement, but the entity continued to express its dislike for John Bell and vowed relentlessly to kill him. So I'm a little confused with this timeline because what I'm about to say next is a year before she broke off the engagement.
Okay.
So I was a little confused by that. Also, I didn't write this in here, but Betsy, I think she ended up marrying Richard Powell, who was her teacher. Yeah, she ended up marrying him somewhere down the line. I don't know. I didn't get to look too much into that. But yeah, so John was so messed up for months. John was very messed up, which is the dad.
Yeah.
And he was super unhealthy that he couldn't leave his bed for months. He had been experiencing episodes of twitching in his face and difficulty swallowing for almost a year, and the illness seemed to grow worse with time.
Damn.
So by the fall of 1820, his declining health had confined him to the house, where the entity commenced removing his shoes when he tried to walk and slapping his face when he experienced seizures. Like, she just did not give him a break. I think, like he was, like, dying in his bed, and she just didn't care.
She, like, made him weak so that she could, like, take control over him, like, even more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Her loud voice could be heard all over the farm, cursing and chastising.
Right?
No, it doesn't say chastise. No, it's chastising. Chastising.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Chastising.
Cursing and whatever that is. Old Jack Bell, as she often referred to him. The witch grew from abuse and hatred to attempted murder when it replaced John's tonic with poison.
What?
I'm just gonna okay, I'll tell you this after. This attempt failed, but on December 19th, 1820, John was put into a coma. One of his sons rushed to check the medicine cabinet, probably because of the previous incident, and saw only a vial of dark liquid, which was only a third full. The entity admitted she gave him a good amount of it when John was sleeping and said he will never awaken again.
Damn.
John Bell died the next day on December 20th. The dark liquid was indeed poison because they tested it on their cat and it died instantly.
What?
They didn't know what that vial was, so they tested on the cat to see what the fuck it was, and killed the cat.
Time period, kid, just what?
Yeah, it's insane. But John Jr., which is one of the kids, he quickly threw the vial into the fireplace, where it bursted into a bright bluish flame and shot up the chimney. So this is the only case that has ever been actually documented as a death by a ghost.
That's a really big deal.
like a death by a spirit. This is the only case that has ever been given that title,
which is like
or whatever.
crazy to me because, like, let's be honest, those, like, I was thinking earlier, like, she could still marry that guy, she could just like hide it from the ghost and like not bring him home, but like, no, the fuck, she cannot hide that from the ghost can see everything. Like, that is so scary.
Yeah, super scary. Also, I think about, like, hasn't, like, those exorcism stories, like, hasn't some, wait, wasn't there, oh, fuck, there was a story of an exorcism, I think of a boy who actually, like, died from the exorcism, but I don't know if it was because, like, the demons took his soul or, like, what, but...
They always, like, they always, like, claim it's, like, sickness or, like, some weird, like...
Oh, then that's probably why. I don't know. But yeah, this is the only case where they, like, legitimately said this
ghost done it.
This ghost done did it. Okay, so John's funeral was one of the biggest ever held in Robertson County, which is a county that they lived in Tennessee. As family and friends began leaving the graveyard, the witch spirit laughed loudly and began singing a song about a bottle of brandy. It is said that her singing didn't stop until the very last person left the graveyard, and the entity's presence was almost non-existent after John's death, as if its purpose had been fulfilled.
So it probably was, like, what was her name? Katie or something? Like, I bet it was her.
Kate.
Kata.
Oh. Kate. No, yeah, Kate Batts or something.
I'm sure it is, because that makes total sense. Like, that was her entire plan.
Well, but see, if it's a ghost person, like, if it's from a spirit, I don't think they can be violent like that.
Or, like, also, like, the way that it, like, manifested as, like, that rabbit dog, like, can ghosts do that? Or is that a demon thing?
Yeah, that's like a skinwalker thing, isn't it?
Ew, that made me get the chills. Like, I don't know.
Sorry.
I just realized it was, like, dark, and I looked out the blinds, and I was like, oh my god.
I know, I have my light turned on, and I'm still looking over my shoulder. I need to find a new setup where, like, my back is facing the wall.
But then that's, like, almost scary, too. Like, there's, like, okay, so...
No, it's not.
Side note, there's, like, in our laundry pantry room thing, there's, like, this weird, like, trap door that... we've never been in, and like it's been locked since we moved in, but like lately I've been getting this like weird feeling about it, and like I don't know if I'm just like scared or what, but like,
go inside.
I'm so scared.
Go inside.
It's like locked, like thick lock, and I'm like, there's something in there. Like, what if there's like a body? Or I don't even know. I'm scared when I get near it.
That's creepy as hell. I was gonna say something and I forgot.
It will come to you. Me with the earring people.
Oh. Okay, so I was going to say that while I was reading this story, they also think that it was like a poltergeist.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because of all of the shit that was going on. Like, because I think poltergeists can harm you too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they think it was also like a poltergeist of some sort.
It was strong.
It was super strong. Oh my god. Oh god. It's so fucking scary. Okay. So in April of 1821, the entity visited John Bell's widow, Lucy, and told her that it would return in 7 years. Oh my god. I can never talk. It returned in 1828 as promised. Most of its visits centered around John Bell Jr. I don't think there was anything creepy going on, though. Apparently that this entity was like just talking to him about things that were going to happen in the Civil War, and then they did happen or something like that. I don't know. The entity what?
I swear I just heard something move, and I just talked about the scary trapdoor, and I'm like, no,
ew,
sorry.
Stop. No, stop. Okay. The entity left after 3 weeks, promising to return every 107 years and visit John Bell's most direct descendants. The year would have been 1935, and the closest living direct descendant of John Bell at the time was Nashville physician Dr. Charles Bailey Bell. Dr. Bell himself wrote a book about the Bell Witch published in 1934. No follow-up was published, and Dr. Bell died in 1945.
Damn.
Even though the Bell home was burnt down, the area is still full of paranormal activity. There's even a Bell Witch Cave that the spirit might dwell in. The witch or entity or ghost or whatever that tormented the Bell family and the Red River settlement almost 200 years ago is often blamed for unexplainable manifestations that occur near the old Bell farm today. People can sometimes hear faint sounds of talking and children playing, and it's common to see candle lights dancing through the dark fields late at night. The Bell Witch Cave is on the property where the Bell Farm used to be. It is almost 500 feet long. Tours are given during the summer and October and is now privately owned. The Bell Witch is believed to have fled to the cave after the Bell home was destroyed. I don't know how it was destroyed. I just know it was burned down, but I don't know who burned it down or how that happened.
If I was one of the family members, I would burn it down and be like, save me.
Fuck Please. This house.
Yeah.
So I read that the scariest time of all to visit Adams, Tennessee is on a cold, dark winter night. Apparently nothing is open at night though, including the Bellwood Cemetery, which is where the family, I think that's where the family are buried. Like they have their own cemetery.
Makes sense.
And I think that's where that is. I also found a picture of it. I found tons of pictures on this actually, so we'll post that in our Instagram. But now I want to get into some specifics, like with questions that people usually have, because they do say this is like it's like a legend from like 200 years ago, so it could be passed down, and interpreted in different, whatever.
For sure.
So people wonder if it was really a witch. The reason behind the legend name, which dates back to the early 1800s, is that the early settlers considered almost anything weird to be witchery.
Yeah, that's true. They thought everything was. Every sickness.
Yeah, anything that was out of the ordinary, they're like, witch.
Yeah, for sure.
But keep in mind that the legend happened only 125 years or so after the Salem witch trials, and that widespread paranoia about unexplainable things and behavior ran rampant.
It's true. And like think about the way, so like I'm thinking they must have been like pretty popular because you said like his funeral was like poppin', but like still
they got so popular. Like when they all found out, like so many people were going to their house, like so many people knew.
Yeah, it's like a phenomenon. Like I'm sure the Salem witch trials like set the tone for that. Like they're like, oh, it's happening to us,
Yeah. But according to the legend, the Bell Witch, aka Kate, was a supernatural entity and not a person. It was called Kate because some people thought that she was an eccentric lady named Kate Batts. I think it's Batts, Batts, Batts or Bates, I don't know, was behind all the shit that went down, but there are no available records suggesting that Kate was connected to any of the disturbances. People also wonder if the people and places of this Bell Witch legend are real, and to answer that, yes, they are. There's real documents about them, public records, private records, and grave markers. Like they have real stuff about these people.
Yeah. I love how you're just like matter of fact, where you're like, yes, they are real. Stop questioning.
No, they are. Like they are real. These people are real. There's been a few films made about this legend, some of which are called The Bell Witch Haunting, and that one came out in 2004. Another one in 2005 was called Bell Witch the Movie, and in 2006, this is the one that I've seen, and most people might have heard of this or seen it, and it's called An American Haunting.
Okay.
I remember watching that one when it came out when I was like 12, and that shit scared the living shit out of me. Like still to this day, when I think about it, it fucking terrifies me. Like it was so scary. Oh God. I think also, who was his name? I think James Johnson or something, some guy, when he went to the house, he like did an exorcism, but I don't think it did anything.
Was that the neighbor?
Or was that yes, just like that was the neighbor. Okay. No, that was a neighbor.
I'm wondering like if the like ghost like pretended to be, or the entity or whatever like pretended to be Kate, to like get power over John, because like they would know, you know, that like Kate like died, and maybe he did kill her, and they're like, doggy, we know what you did and we're using that against you, you know, like
yeah,
that's what demons do and stuff.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But there's so much more about this story that I wish I could talk about, but it would be a very, very long episode, and maybe I could do a part 2 of this and finish everything else. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But I encourage everybody to go and watch this movie, An American Haunting. It's really good. It's really fucking scary. And, but then again, I haven't seen it since like 2006, so I don't know if it is still scary.
Yeah,
I have
it could
to try
be like
again.
Paranormal Activity, and you're like, what is this?
Okay, but Paranormal Activity really spooked me.
At that time in my life, it scared me too, but I think like if I watched it now, it would have the same effect, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
But maybe not, because I'm a freaking wimp. Like, just this conversation, I'm like looking over my shoulder every 2 seconds. Like,
dude,
where's the ghost?
I can't even share stories without like, oops, without like looking behind me.
Same.
I get really
I'm
scared.
So scared of the dark. Like last night I went in the kitchen, I was like, do I need the light? No. So I went in and like got a cup of water, and I was like running back to the couch. I was like, I'm gonna die.
That is me every single night. I'm so terrified of the dark. Like legit,
Same.
I have a real phobia of the dark.
I do too.
Especially if I'm alone.
I cannot be home alone in the dark. Like I'm so scared.
It's so terrifying. Like that's my biggest fear, is being scared to death. Like literally being frightened till I die.
Or like you're frightened, like, and you can't scream. You're just like stuck. Or like I always have like this has happened to me like no joke 4 times, and each time I've been equally scared. Like I've been in the shower and the power's gone out.
Ew. That's happened to me I think only one or 2 times, and yeah, that's terrifying.
Yes, it's so scary. Like this is how I die. I'm completely naked. I have no weapons. Like I'm in a fight with the shampoo bottle. Like damn.
Don't want to go through that.
Please don't kill me. I swear. I'll annoy you to death before you kill me.
I always think about that when I'm taking a shower. I'm just like, what if like someone comes in and like murders me? Like I'm gonna be naked and they're gonna see me naked and I'm ugly, like I haven't shaved, like I look gross.
Or like what if someone like murders you and like leaves your body dead, and then like everyone finds you and you're like butt ass naked?
That's what I think about.
Me too.
I wanted to say that if you don't shave, that's totally fine. It's normal. I don't mind. I'm just saying for myself, you know.
I don't shave, like I don't shave my armpits or my legs. So welcome to the club, baby. I live in Portland. We don't shave here.
Yeah, see you do you, boo boo. I don't care.
Yeah.
But
it's too much work.
You know, just for me is like I don't know. Just for me,
it's like
it's my preference.
Yeah. And like some people, that's like they're like they've done it forever, so like you're used to it. It's your norm, you know.
Yes, but yeah, I'm always thinking of like scary shit like that. Like, what if we get murdered? Or I'm always thinking of that, and I hate it because I'm like, I hope I don't like manifest this and like.
Same, but at the same time, like,
so
okay,
scared.
This is what I think about anxiety too. Like, I hate anxiety, right? Like, it's a terrible feeling. It's awful. But at the same time, I feel like my anxiety makes me so much more safe. Like, I think of things that I would never normally think. I always like cover my butt. I'm like always aware of my surroundings, you know, like.
Yeah, I guess so.
It like saves you sometimes. Like not the severity of it, I guess, that I feel is good, but like, you know, in ways it is healthy. Like for that.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
But yeah. Have you watched anything like scary or good lately? I've been like I've watched like a bunch of 2020s, but I don't want to tell you guys because I have a bunch of ideas for stories and they're super good. I've been like on like this hoarders addiction right now. I don't know why, but I can watch hoarders and just like be like, what is happening?
I used to watch that. But as far as anything, I honestly haven't watched anything. I'm just like right now I've just been watching all the shows like that I usually watch, which is not anything crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like Riverdale.
Yeah.
And Manifest. If you haven't seen Manifest, I think
I haven't seen
all of you need to. Like, it is so insanely good. Like, it's long story short, it's just about a whole plane of passengers They are flying back home from a vacation. They go through some really, really bad turbulence. Once they land, there's a whole bunch of FBI there, and they tell them that, hey, you guys been missing for 5.5 years.
What?
And we all thought that you were dead.
That's like Lost.
But you're here. You're alive. None of you aged a day. And for like them, it was just like one normal couple hour flight, you know, and then, but in real time, like down on the ground, it was like 5.5 years. So
damn.
It's so crazy. Like, you guys need to go watch it.
That sounds good.
I think it's on this actually, I don't know what channel it's on, but it's on Hulu. So
okay, cool.
If you have Hulu, go check it out. But that's all I've been watching.
I was also, like a big Lost fan, so like that appeals to me big time.
I haven't seen that. I need to watch that.
Ooh,
but like,
it's good till like the fifth season.
Can we talk about You for a second? Like that show You. Did you see it?
I don't think so. No.
You haven't seen it yet? What are you waiting for?
No, what is it about? Or what is it?
Oh my god, you've never heard of it? Okay, so you have Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's on Netflix. It's about this. Well, I don't want to really say it because anything I say is probably going to give it away. But
okay, I'll have to watch it.
This guy is just obsessed with this girl, and it's like it's a fuck. How am I going to describe this without giving anything away?
Is it like crime, thriller?
Yes, it is thriller. Yes, perfect. Thriller, romance, and thriller. Okay. So you need to watch it. They only have one season, but it is so freaking good. Like I can rewatch the season and I will be like, yes, I love this. I can watch it over and over and over again, which I have been doing. So go watch it because it's amazing. I
want to watch it. Me and Brandon are always looking for stuff to watch. Speaking of Brandon, I haven't really talked to my boyfriend on here that much, but tomorrow we're going to...
Happy 5-year anniversary.
Yes, it's our 5-year anniversary, and tomorrow we're like treating ourselves and we're going to a spa day. We're going to get like a massage and a pedicure and a facial and stuff, and then...
Oh, yay.
Brandon got stuff to cook me like a fancy dinner tonight, and he is like literally a freaking picky eater. Like, you guys don't get it. Like, he doesn't eat anything like pizza, hot dogs, pizza rolls, Burgerville, Panda Express. That's his diet. And I told him, like, all I want is for you to cook me a nice dinner. So he like went and got like nice stuff, and I'm excited. The only hint I have is he texted me at work and was like, do we have pesto? Or basil? Do we have basil? And I was like, yes, we do. So we'll see.
Yay.
I'll have to update you guys on that.
Yes, please do. Text me after.
Yeah.
Show me. Or you're probably going to post a picture of it or something.
Maybe I can post it on our Instagram.
Oh, yeah. You guys will have already seen it by this time.
I know, next week. Yeah.
but yeah, so... that's it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry if it was sloppy. We just I have a crazy 5-day weekend, I think 4 or 5-day weekend.
Yeah, tell us where you're going.
So tomorrow I have a booking in LA. I do background acting, so I am booked for a TV show that I cannot talk about. But yeah, so I have to go to LA tomorrow for that. Don't forget, I live 2 hours away from LA. I live north of LA, so I have to go there. Then Friday, I'm also going to be in LA. I need to pick up a friend from the airport. Saturday, we're going to Universal Studios. Yeah. So I get to go to Hogwarts again. That's all I'm excited about. Like, I'm so stoked to go back to Harry Potter World. Oh my God.
Really? I'm a giant Simpsons fan. Like, Brandon and I collect Simpsons stuff, so that's our favorite.
Okay, so I've never watched Simpsons, but no. Wait. I did watch Simpsons. I watched one episode, and I was in history class, and it was about the Prohibition.
Oh my God.
That's the only reason why I watched it. But I love the Simpsons area. Like, it's so cute, and I love how like animated it is and everything. But yeah, so we're doing that, and then Sunday he has like, my friend has this thing for this stuff that he does. So we're going to go to that, and then we're going to go hang out in Orange County, and then Monday he goes home, and then I go home, and
so
then back to reality life. But yeah. But yeah, so that was just what I'm going to do this weekend. It's very busy, so we were like, we need to record this super fast. We need to get this shit done because I'm not going to have time, and we're not going to have time, and we need this out by Sunday. Yep. And oh my God, it was very stressful.
We didn't want to be late.
Yeah, and I thought that we were going to have a full day tomorrow, so I was hoping that tomorrow we could record at night or something, but I got booked for the TV show today for tomorrow, so I was like, oh, fuck. So now we have a whole day less, and I have to do everything that I need to do. Oh, and I also have to go to sleep.
We pulled it off.
Yeah, like I have to go to sleep in like a couple hours because I just got a text that my call time is at 10:30 a.m., which means I need to leave my house at like 8 a.m. to make sure I get there on time or even earlier. So I need to hurry, and I'm probably just gonna like, edit this like tomorrow or something.
Right quick. Yep.
But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes. Also, after this episode, stay tuned to hear an ad from another murder podcast that we have been listening to. They cover murders of people of color, which is really important and often like
amazing
under the rug. Yeah, and they are also people of color, so please support them. They're awesome. Their podcast is called Bruh, It's a Murder.
It's so their trailer ad thing is so like amazing. I thought it was the cutest thing ever.
Get ready to get down to that bop because it is one. It's so good. But yeah, we love you guys. Please email us your stories, taleoftwodeadgirls@gmail.com. If you want weekly episodes, we love you.
Also follow us on social media. We got Instagram, which is Tale of Two Dead Girls. We have Twitter, which is TOTDG podcast, and then our Facebook is Tale of Two Dead Girls. So go check us out on our social media, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff, and
kisses.
We'll meet you 6 feet under.
Bringing light to injustice, bringing light to the violence, no more silence, so many stories of innocent lives that they hide.
Hey there, I'm Andre Matthews, host of Bruh Is a Murder, a true crime podcast about people of color cases made by people of color. We also include great music from up-and-coming artists in our musical breaks. Check us out.